Welcome to another edition of Nimasa Podcasts. On this edition, we'll be discussing about the men, because June is still the month for men, talking about the well-being and, of course, how to protect their mental health, and, of course, why the men needs to speak up. On this edition, I have a very special guest in the studio with me this afternoon. It's a privilege to have her. So she is the chairman board of directors of Women Radio, and her name is Mrs. Toun Okewale Shonaya.
Thank you very much for having me in the Nimasa studios. It's a pleasure. It's an honor. Thank you.
Thank you again. We're happy to have you here.
Thank you.
So, we know on the Women's Radio, it's all about women advocacy, always speaking on women, the girl child, and all that. But this month, before I ask the question, somehow every year, you have more than 5 Mother's Day. Women, 5. But this year, we managed to have just one, June 21, Father's Day. Now, what's your take on the men? Talking about advocacy for men and the young boy out there.
Okay. So, Women Radio is not just solely for women. It's actually Women Radio for women and their families. And, of course, men make up part of our families. Our husbands, our fathers, our brothers, our uncles, our nephews, our sons. So they all make up our grandfathers. They all make up part of the families of Women Radio. Yes, we are unapologetically 100% women. We talk about issues that affect women. We also talk about men, but we look at things from the women's perspective. So I just thought I would quickly mention that we love the men. On our board of directors, our former chairman is a man. The investor, he's one of our investors as well. Co-founder is a man. Men have supported Women Radio. So we can't live alone without the men. So the men are important to us as well.
Okay, thank you. So talking about mental health, it's become like a cliche now. Mental health, well-being, and all that. What's the men? We know they say they don't speak up. They're quiet. They go through a whole lot. And they bottle it up. And you find out that maybe statistics says that maybe men die earlier nowadays because of all these bottled up problems. What do you think is the issue?
So I wouldn't know what the issue is because I'm not a man, but I am married to a man.
Okay.
And I have a son and I have a brother who is a man. So I wouldn't know why, but you are right by saying that men don't talk that much. The men tend to be quiet. What I've also found out is that when men are going through tough times, they tend to be very withdrawn. I recall there was a time I was desperately trying to reach an uncle of mine, and he just wasn't picking my calls. And eventually, when I got through to him, he said, "Toun, I'm broke. And when I don't have money, I just don't even want to have anything to do with anybody. I'm only uncle, but I'm not going to ask you for money you can't understand." So I know that men bottle things up. I know that men are different in the ways they express themselves. Unlike women, we're very expressive. You have friends you can talk to. You have family you can talk to. Men prefer not to talk. I think that's the way men are, and we can't fault that. And I think what we need to do as women, as wives, as daughters, as sisters, as aunties, is just to allow men to be men when they want to be men. So when the man has bottled things up and is not talking, if I ask and he says, "I just want to be left alone," I think we just need to allow to let them alone. It's difficult for a woman when we ask you and you say, "Leave me alone." We start thinking, well, not all women, but some women, and including myself, we start thinking, "Oh, what have I done? What is the problem? Why are you not talking? What is worrying you? A problem shared is a problem solved. Talk about it. I don't like the way that you're blanking me out." It's common for some of us to do that. But what I've heard in the last few days is that sometimes men just want to be, I just need a break. And I think we just need to understand, accept, respect that men need their break and we should allow them to have their break.
Okay, fine. Now, I want to ask this question because I also, I think I listened to it somewhere. Don't you think that is a function of how they were brought up when they were growing up? Now, if you recall, when you have boy children and the girl child, the boy child and the girl child, rather, there's this common saying: "You're a boy, don't cry. Don't cry. Men don't cry." And I think maybe subconsciously they grew up with that reality and then they don't speak up and then they keep on dying in silence. Yes, you rightly said that maybe you may not ask further, but in the case whereby a man that is very active, always happy, coming home, all of a sudden is withdrawn, what should the wife do?
So
Or what should the family do?
So there are two things you've mentioned: the fact that the way boys are raised and what a woman should do when the man is withdrawn. I think things are changing. I recall, hearing you don't cry, men don't cry, men don't complain, you talk too much, men don't talk too much. Is when when a man is talking, is that why are you talking like a woman? You've heard people say things like,
yes, exactly.
when I'm talking like a woman. But I think things are changing, and things are changing because it's good to cry. Because a man is a human being,
And don't the gist of the man?
I don't think so. Things are changing because women also want their men to be expressive. You also want your man. I mean, I'm not saying the man should cry for every little thing,
That becomes
when I don't want a cry baby. But when things happen and you expect the man to show emotions and he's not showing emotions, then it could be interpreted to be something else. And I think things are changing. Boys are being raised to express themselves. Now, you spoke about a man who came home, a man that is very active, and he's home now, and he's very withdrawn. I would expect, if it's me, I would ask questions. I will ask questions. If the man says, I don't want to talk, I would allow him to be, but I'll figure a way out in a very sensitive way, look at the right time and still ask him questions. If he says he still doesn't want to talk, I'll look at other ways. If I have to send him a message, even though we're in the same house, if I have to send a message by WhatsApp and say, baby, I'm really worried that you're worried. I'm uncomfortable. I have concerns because you're not talking. This is not you. Please feel free to talk to me. If he still doesn't say anything, I would encourage him. Do you want to talk to a friend? Maybe you want to talk to your friend. Maybe you want to talk to your siblings or your sister. I will cajole him, beg him to ensure that he speaks out.
All right. So please don't go away. Stay back right there. We'll be right back after the break. Welcome back, viewers. There's a man out there watching these podcasts. He feels alone, no one to talk to. In fact, he has lots of debts on his head, loans on the banks and here and there. And he's wondering, what should I do next? And as you know, many people nowadays, the next thing is, do I commit suicide? What's your word for that man out there?
There's a lot of pressure on men generally. A lot of pressure. Sometimes it could be from the immediate family, wife and children. It could be from the extended family. You have to service, extended family as well. It could be from work. It could be on health grounds. It could be financial. So there are a lot of issues, reasons why a man will be going through pressure. My advice to this man, please don't die. Because if you die, Madam will move on. Definitely. Madam would only cry, will mourn for a period that culture expects her to mourn. She will move on. The children, if there are children, will move on. At your place of work, it will be 1 minute silence. In fact, somebody else will take over that job and will do it better. Life will not stop. The weather will not change. We will all move on. And so I need you. Some people will call it self-care. I call it selfish. Learn to be selfish about yourself, about your mental well-being, about your finances. Do only what you can do. You don't have to impress anybody. The least that will happen is the woman will abuse you and she'll walk away. You still have your life to live. If things are tough for you now, figure out what is wrong. Look at how you got there. Look at who can help you. If you're owing people, talk to them. Negotiate, renegotiate how you can pay in installment. Whatever it is you're doing, you're at, find a way to refine. Go and look at other things you could do to just make sure you put food on the table. My brother, if you're listening, do not attempt to work, because you know what? The world is crumbling economically. It's not you alone. The government is struggling. Everybody is struggling. Everybody, the economy is bad. It's a global downturn. It's not in Nigeria alone. It's affecting. Go to the shops in the UK. Things are expensive. Same in Nigeria here. So you're not the only one going through this. It's just that people are not talking. You've got to talk. Talk to your friends. Talk to if you can borrow money, go and borrow money. But make sure you have a way to pay it back. And if you're already in debt, go and discuss with your debtors. How can I pay back little in installment? Talk to your wife if there's a wife there, and let her know things are tough, baby. Things are really tough. How can you help me? Speak to family, speak to friends that can help you. And above all, just relax. Do not kill yourself. You kill yourself, you're gone. Because look at it, how many people have died and life has continued.
Certainly.
So you have to just be selfish and think about yourself, because when you're in a good state, then you can help other people. But most importantly, there will be people in your network that you can talk to. Let them know that you're going through a difficult time, and find other jobs that you can do that can bring in the money. But please, the last thing you want to do is to die. I don't know what your faith is. I know that in the Christian faith, if you kill yourself, it's a sin on its own.
Oh, definitely.
Right? So what is the point of killing yourself here and not hitting heaven? So, and don't overdo things. You don't have to go to the club, just read. If you drink alcohol, reduce it. Yeah. If you have your kicks, reduce those things where you can reduce and cut cost. Everybody's cutting cost. I'm cutting cost as well. Everybody's cutting cost. So, that is my advice for this man. Please don't end your life. It's not worth it. It's not worth it, because things can change for you for the better.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Toun Okewale Shonaya, Chairman, Board of Directors of Women Radio. Shall I say it to you guys out there? I would like to come for broken. Guy, take them easy. Make you no kill yourself. If you die, life will continue.
Absolutely.
Your office, that will continue. Last, now 1 minute silence. So the message to you out there is clear. Learn to speak up. You are not alone in it. If you have loans that you're running, structure them. Structure your life, cut down on unnecessary excesses, and of course, speak to your partner, speak to friends. Do not die in silence. That is the message from us at Nimasa, this edition of our podcast. Thank you very much for staying with us. My name is Femi Kumuyi. I remain your host. Thank you, and see you again next segment. Bye.